everyone. I'm going to show off my capstone a little bit. I used a Google site like most everybody else. I had some trouble with it in the beginning. A lot of my artifacts wouldn't load to the actual site, so I had to pretty much dump everything, all my artifacts, into Google Drive, and once it was in Google Drive, it was relatively easy. I like working with Google Sites. I like all the different applications that you can use in building one. And I think that I might build another Google site in the future to post any projects that I do in my career. So I'm going to start with my homepage. It's a very basic homepage, a welcome message and a picture taken of me from last spring. I'm going to skip over my resume and statement of professional values and go to my professional development plan. My professional development plan, I separated into 3 different categories. Immediate goals, intermediate goals, and long-term goals. The immediate goals are from now until a year after graduation. The intermediate goals are 2 to 3 years after graduation, and my long-term goals 4 to 5 years after graduation. I'm not going to go through all of my student learning objectives. I'm only going to go through a couple, but student learning objective number 2, evaluates and conducts applies current research. I had 2 really great opportunities to do this in my, in the process of getting the degree. In my library administration and management class, I had the opportunity with 4 of the group members to conduct a needs assessment. We did a needs assessment project. The goal was to evaluate the performance of the North Carolina A&T Blueford Library in how they contributed to a LGBTQ friendly and inclusive campus environment and how their collection reflected that. We were able to compare their library's main collection to reading lists such as the Over the Rainbow reading list created by the LGBTQ committee at the American Library Association, and the Stonewall Book Award reading list. We also had the chance to conduct an internal and external survey between the staff and patrons and students on the culture climate and the effectiveness of providing an LGBTQ-friendly workspace and research environment for patrons. And it was a really great project. It really opened up my eyes to how much work would go into a needs assessment project like this. I also had the opportunity in my collection management class to do an action research project where I gauged the satisfaction of patrons in the Charlotte, North Carolina public library system. I wanted to gauge their satisfaction in terms of, responding to patrons' needs like hours, checkout services, technology services, and community outreach programs. I really liked doing this assignment. It really was a good experience. For student learning objective number 3, in terms of information literacy, I was able to actually perform 2 information literacy sessions. In spring of 2013, this past spring, I took information literacy with Dr. Beth Martin, and she assigned us a project to teach someone something. So I had the chance to teach my mother how to use Prezi. She is a 9th grade English teacher, and she's been wanting to learn Prezi for the last year or 2, so I was able to teach her how to use Prezi and be able to implement it into her classroom. It took about 2 hours, and it really made me think a lot about learning styles and how everybody's learning style is different, and that would have to reflect when planning an information literacy session. I also had the chance where I work in a preschool. I had the chance to teach my co-teachers how to use a new software that they implemented last spring. It's called Teaching Strategies Gold, and it allows teachers to build children profiles and record development and observations and prepare conference forms. And this took a lot more time to prepare for. I had to teach 20 coworkers, and 2 of the 20 did not know how to use computers at all. So I had to not only teach them how to use a computer, but use the internet and use the program. So I ended up having to break it into 2 sessions, one where I taught most of the teachers how to use the program, and then another session for those 2 teachers where I had to teach them how to use a computer and the program. So I I really tried to highlight my use of technology. I used a lot of programs in all of my classes, whether it's Prezi. I had the opportunity to do an internship this fall as an embedded librarian where I learned how to use things like Jing and Screencast-O-Matic. I used Pinterest. So I really wanted to highlight my use of technology within my capstone. I hope to use these technologies and what I've learned in the degree once I start my career. I want to be an academic librarian, and I really want to be able to build up some experience and use some of the technologies that I've learned about throughout the degree. So yeah, that's my capstone. Thank you.